So, as I'm tuning into your energy today, Aquarius, the thing that Spirit is bringing forward is the courage of your love, the courage of your heart. There is something out there in the world that you want bad enough, like it's more worthwhile than looking cool or not failing or not, looking silly in front of the people that you want to like you or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about? Sometimes being seen trying is not as cringy as this current culture makes it seem. There's something worth the courage of your love. I'm curious how many of you might have Capricorn placements, because it's similar to the message that came through for Capricorn, where it's like there's this feeling of stepping over a final threshold and into something and saying, you know what, maybe I don't care about looking silly as much as I care about being on the path that makes me feel like myself, or going after the love of my life, or going after the creative project that I've always dreamed about. Like nothing should be a means to an end, Aquarius. So like, oh, I want to write the great American novel. And if it turns out, sorry if you can hear my cats hissing off to the side. If it turns out as you examine your desire to write the great American novel or be the next big movie star or whatever your dream is, and if you look into it and then you feel, oh, wait, this isn't even about I want to write a book. This is more about I want to be famous or I want people to recognize me or whatever. If it isn't about I love doing this, then check it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing should be a means to an end. That's the whole point, is like if you don't love doing it, then that's not what they're talking about. Okay. Also, hi. I'm Madeline, if we haven't met before. Let's get into some cards for the month of September. We're going to get into the story of your month, and we're also going to pull a persona card to see how you're showing up and which aspects of you that Spirit kind of wants to point out the most. So let's get into it. Thank you, Spirit. Guardians and guides of Aquarius people, all those who carry the archetype of Aquarius, Aquarius sun, Aquarius moon, Aquarius rising, and Aquarius dominant people, 11th house dominant people spirit, the humanitarians of the zodiac. Spirit, we want to know the truth of what is showing up for Aquarius in the month of September. What kind of themes are showing up for Aquarius? And how do you want to guide Aquarius to interact with that energy for their highest good? Spirit, we always aim to help Aquarius step into the life that is most fulfilling, peaceful, secure, easeful, fun, adventurous, loving. So Spirit, what truths do you want to share with Aquarius about the month of September in order to help them move forward in the best possible way, to be in alignment with themselves, to be true to themselves, for their highest good? What do they need to know, Spirit? What's showing up for Aquarius? And what do you want them to know or do about it for their highest good? All right, let's get into it. Well, of course. So you're showing up as the King of Swords. Listen, pretty fucking courageous. The one thing is that the King of Swords can sometimes not take their heart into account, right? So they can be a little bit up in their mind what is strategically or calculatedly seems correct versus what seems the most enlivening or enriching. So you're very brilliant this month, and you've great way with words, great control, great managerial vibes. So wonderful. And please keep in mind what Spirit was saying about, okay, you could be great at some things, but maybe they don't. Maybe you're great at your job, but you need a creative outlet or whatever where your heart really gets to take the lead. And when I say your heart, it's like, again, what would feel really good right now? It'd feel really good to take a walk, or it'd feel really good to snap some photos or whatever. Okay? Okay. Let's get into these cards. Thank you, Spirit. Month of September for Aquarius. Beautiful. Wow. So what I'm hearing really loud and clear is don't give up. Don't give up, Aquarius. Some of you may have decided, again, with your King of Swords, you know, according to my calculations, I'm not going to be able to become the next great American novelist or the next movie star or whatever. You need to not give up on the thing that you dream of doing. And again, what is the point of what it is you're doing? Because if you're making the point becoming famous or everybody liking me or whatever, then your dream is to have everybody like you. It's not to write the book or to be a painter or what. Do you know what I'm saying? Check your desires. I'm not saying change them. I'm saying be real with yourself. Be super honest with yourself about what it is that you want and what gives you pleasure and what is fun to you, and do more of that. Spirit always knows. Sitting in the past, the Lovers, and sitting in the present, the Ten of Cups. Joy, pleasure, passion, ignition. So in the recent past, the Lovers being presented with a choice. Here's a lesser version of the thing that you want, and here's the thing that you want. What do you want to do about it? Maybe this, fruit is low hanging, so it's going to be easier to grab than this other one. But is the other one worth the climb? And might you enjoy the climb on the way to that fruit, whether you got it or not? That's the question. And if you would not enjoy the climb, then perhaps you need to question whether you actually want the fruit or not. You know what I'm talking about? And none of this is shade. I'm saying literally we can go through life thinking like, oh, I want a partner, for example. Like, where's the love of my life? And then we start dating someone who's like, oh my God, get out of my space. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. So you've been presented with this choice. What brings me passion? What gives me ignition? In the present moment, Ten of Cups, there's a lot of love in your life. There's a lot of love and appreciation and support for you available. I also feel celebration very available in September, like you get a new job. Ace of Pentacles is sitting in the climate, the energy around and available to you. You get a new job, or in comes this new opportunity, or you begin to till for yourself a path, an avenue to a new type of income or a new project that you want to cultivate or a skill that you want to cultivate. Whether or not it will make you money, it will be valuable because like, oh, I'm learning to sew or I'm learning to code or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? And even if it is just a seed of something right now, it could pay off really big time later on if you decide, oh, the juice is worth the fucking squeeze. So Ten of Cups and the Lovers, that's a lot of passion. That's a lot of love. And, Spirit gave the message about don't give up. And some of you, there's something or someone that you adore, and maybe you have been holding back. Maybe you have not made it clear to this person that you are ready to cross the threshold of fear. If that resonates with you, and this will not be true for every Aquarius, but if that is something that resonates with you, I would encourage you to make like the King of Swords, be honest, be clear, be straightforward with your words, and take a risk. Let them know. Don't give up. See what happens. Ten of Wands is the card representing your guidance, and that is when Spirit said, don't give up. There is something that you are really passionate about and something that you might be closer to the finish line on than you think. It's been a long journey, but you've collected a lot of skills and you've learned a whole lot, and you've crossed you have traversed a whole lot of map on the way to make it to your finish line. The Hermit sits in the future, kind of echoing this, learning a lot about yourself. And Spirit just said, like, learning what makes me tick. Some of you aren't even very familiar with or understand what gives you a whole lot of pleasure, or maybe it's just been a really fucking long time since you've chosen to really be deliberate about, like, how do I bring more cups into my life? I want to feel like Ten of Cups. I want to feel surrounded by my love and my friends and my family and my like creative satisfaction, my spiritual alignment, etc. That is a choice. That is a choice that someone has to make. Life does not, Ten of Cups doesn't just happen to people. People have to go collect the cups, and then they have to find the quality water, the quality love, the quality relationships, the quality spiritual practices to fill them. This is your mission should you choose to accept it. The Hermit sits in your future. I think that a lot of you will accept it. Spirit is using the word existentialism. Some of you might be feeling a little bit existential. What is the point? Why am I here? What am I doing? What do I really care about? Who am I? Great questions. Go ask them. Go pursue them. Go find yourself. Ten of Wands is also giving me, what are your creative long-term goals? What are you really passionate about being seen and appreciated for? This feels like a long-term project for some of you. Maybe you've been working about this or just thinking about this for a long time. Five of Wands is sitting in the key position. You might be holding back because you're comparing yourself. Maybe you would rather be playing games or messing around than really going all in. The courage of your love, crossing a threshold of fear, being willing to put all your cards on the table, being willing to risk failing or not being loved back. You know, the risk is worth the reward, and if the risk isn't worth the reward, then don't take the risk. You know what I'm saying? But if you really fucking want that thing, ask yourself if it's worth the risk of getting a no, or feeling a little dumb temporarily, or whatever. You know? Like, as in, go ahead and pitch your idea. Go ahead and submit your resume. Go ahead and send in that manuscript, whatever. And if you get a rejection, your job is not to use that and internalize that. It's to go, oh, okay, does this make me want it more, or does this make me want it less? And if it makes me want it less, maybe this isn't the thing for me. Just a thought, Aquarius. I'm very curious what y'all are feeling. Whenever I'm doing these readings, it's like, this is what Spirit is saying, so I'm just saying it. And oftentimes I'm like, God, what does this mean for each individual Aquarian that is listening to this? So, in the position representing your hopes and your fears, the moon. The moon, the Hermit, going deep inside the mystery of ourselves, getting acquainted with the mystery of ourselves, getting acquainted with our fears, getting acquainted with our moods and the kind of irrational stuff that pops up. So what kind of irrational fears pop up when you think about putting yourself out there? And then move closer to those fears and see if they don't change their shape as you bring them into the light. You know, the moon features a dog and a wolf. And there's a really beautiful phrase in French, forgive my accent, entre chien et loup, between dog and wolf. And the phrase is referring to twilight, the time of day twilight, where it's like, you know, it's not quite nighttime, it's not quite daytime. The light is such that you can't quite tell dog from wolf. Well, you need to go closer to your fears. They're not going to kill you. This is not a literal wolf, okay? Go closer to your fears and see if they don't turn into a dog. Is this making any sense for you, Aquarius? Let me know. You might not be here for the sense. Who knows? I appreciate you being here, Aquarius. I truly do hope that this is helpful and helps you stay focused on your own mission, your own joy, your own passion, as opposed to comparing it to anybody else. Your journey will not look like anybody else, so maybe don't worry about the yardstick of other people. Not generally your thing, but maybe you need that advice this month. I appreciate you, Aquarius. I hope this has been helpful for you. And if I don't see you before then I hope I'll see you in your mid-September reading. Bye-bye.